If you ever required more proof of just how cringe and loathsome Nikki Haley actually is, all you had to do was listen to her speech at the RNC last night. Really, Pastor Marty, are you going to go there? Yeah, and a couple other places too. Come on along.
Let's get ready to rumble! You can't handle the truth.
Hi, I'm Pastor Marty, and welcome to the Afternoon Drive. Please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Once you are, smack the bell, click the word all. That will give you notification of all of my rants, my ravings, and, my undeniably flawless reasonings. Hey, please like and share this video. That's the way that we get the word out that we're here. Thank you so much for being a part of the Afternoon Drive. So Nikki Haley, of course, launched a campaign against Donald Trump in the primary. She thought she was going to be the one that would be able to take this away from Trump, that he was vulnerable because he was going to be a convicted felon and nobody's going to vote for a guy with all of these legal problems. And she certainly thought that, she could one up Ron DeSantis and, when it was a three-way race, she constantly came in third. Then, Ron saw the writing on the wall. He got out. Nikki stayed in. And, of course, Trump literally cleaned her clock. She suspended her campaign. She refused to endorse Donald Trump, because after all, she was drawing in millions of Democrats in primaries, in states where you don't have to be aligned with one party or the other to vote in the primary. Makes sense to me. So in other words, Democrats could go and vote for Republicans. Wouldn't it make sense that they would vote for the Republicans that they wanted to, upset the primary, but could be beaten in the general? So they wanted to elevate Nikki, hopefully, off Trump. And then, they knew that, Biden, Camilla thinks she's a hottie Harris, would take care of Nikki Haley. That'd be the end of that. Well, didn't quite work out. So last night, she goes to the RNC. I'm not going to play any of her speech. And of course, she's fawning support all over Donald Trump. See, a couple weeks ago, Bill O'Reilly, who thinks he's still relevant in the world of political commentary, said that if Donald Trump wanted the guaranteed ticket to winning this election, he need to absolutely make Nikki Haley his running mate. And Bill O'Reilly even said, he said, I don't like her, but she is politically smart, she's savvy, and she's got a lot of support, and he needs to put her on the ticket. And I said, absolutely not. Nikki Haley's the type of person that would shove her own mother in front of a moving car if it meant saving her own life. And no doubt in my mind, if she were the quote-unquote VP choice, Donald Trump get elected, she would create the issues leading to another Trump impeachment. She would even, quote unquote, turn evidence over that he has to go so that she could take his job. That she is a backstabbing Judas. And the fact that, she went out on the stage last night, endorsed Trump, and everybody applauded and loved her speech. Yeah. Done with Nikki. Now, the theme last night dealt with law and order and illegal immigration, and we heard from all the big guns. We heard from Ted Cruz, Dr. Ben Carson. We heard from Lara Trump. We heard from Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I mean, they were all very good speeches. Ron DeSantis, Deep State Ron, as I like to refer to him, he came out. He gave a really good speech. It was fun, and he hit on the things that had to be hit on.
As a citizen, as a husband, and as a father, I am alarmed that the current president of the United States lacks the capability to discharge the duties of his office. Our enemies do not confine their designs to between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. We need a commander-in-chief who can lead 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. America cannot afford 4 more years of a weekend at Bernie's presidency.
I watched the interview between Joe Biden and Lester Holt. And Lester asked him, said, well, Mr. Biden, do you think you've said anything that you need to kind of quiet down the rhetoric since the assassination attempt on Donald Trump? And, immediately Biden broke into the, look, this guy is a threat to democracy. How do I say that without it sounding critical? Okay. See, he thinks he's in the clear now. He thinks that, that this has quashed all of the let's get rid of Joe from the Democratic side until today. Adam Schiff for brains, ally to Nancy Botox Pelosi, big op-ed in the Los Angeles Times. Joe, you got to go. Step aside, resign, step down, do it now. So that talk is going to start ramping back up again. We'll see how much the media picks up and runs with it because they're getting all kinds of mixed signals now. But I think pretty much, Joe got a respite from that, and he thought the Trump assassination attempt and the RNC this week, that would quell all that, and he could rifle through that real quick, quick. Go ahead, solidify my nomination, make me the official DNC nominee, and there was a big timeout to that this week. He will not be virtually nominated. They're going to take it to the floor of the convention. August is going to be wild at the Democrat National Convention because not only are they going to contest his nomination, but the libloons are going to take to the streets over, death to Israel, that it's just, it's going to get off the charts. It's going to be Chicago, what was it, 68, 69, all over again. It just is. So Joe, baby, you're not out of the woods. Get off your high horse because he said, I'm the only one that can decide if I'm running or not. Okay. So, Ron DeSantis hitting on the whole 10-4, but we can't have a weekend at Bernie's administration anymore. I mean, that was just great. And then I loved how Ron set up how, Democrats, they love illegal immigrants and they make it sound it's so compassionate to bring them here until
they support open borders, allowing millions and millions of illegal aliens to pour into our country and to burden our communities. But just don't send any to Martha's Vineyard, then they get really upset.
Boom. 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 Oh. The speech of the night. And I'm going to get out of the way and I'm going to play this speech here. The speech of the night was not from any of the big guns that I mentioned. It was from a woman none of us had ever heard of before. Madeline Brame, who had a son, was a police officer, killed by illegal immigrants who weren't supposed to be here. Now, guys like Senator Ted Cruz came out and went one name at a time of people who have been killed by illegal immigrants, raped, killed. But Madeline took it to a whole nother level, which talked about why the prosecution against the 4 killers of her son were not brought to justice because Alvin Bragg took over the DA's office. And when you put that in context, that Alvin Bragg had all kinds of time and resources to go after Donald Trump for so-called hush money payments. No more needs to be said. Here's the speech.
My son, Sergeant Hassan Korea, an Afghanistan War retired veteran. He received enemy fire from the Taliban, only to be murdered with a knife on the streets of New York City. The 4 assailants responsible for his death initially were facing justice, but that changed when District Attorney Alvin Bragg was elected. Suddenly, 2 of the homicidal maniacs responsible for my son's death had their gang assault and murder charges completely dismissed. One of them received 14 months time served. Alvin Bragg charged her with assault with a shoe. And another one was sentenced to 7 years. I later learned that Alvin Bragg often dismisses and reduces dangerous criminals. He wants to clear the jails and return violent felons onto our streets every day. The injustice was devastating for me and my family. I don't want anyone else to experience the senseless pain that many other victims across this United States of America have to live with every day. So I decided to use the voice that God gave me to be the voice for the voiceless across America. We need justice for victims, and we need accountability for prosecutors who fail in their duty. Soft on crime prosecutors like Alvin Bragg in New York, Kim Foxx in Chicago, and George Gascon in Los Angeles have turned our great country and cities into war zones. Poor and neglected communities like mine are suffering. And who else in here is sick and tired of being sick and tired? The Democratic Party that poor minorities have been loyal to for decades, including myself, all right? They betrayed us. They stabbed us in the back. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, who claim to represent us, have abandoned us. They neglected the poor minority communities across America. But mine eyes have been opened. Just like so many other poor minorities across America. Donald Trump shares our values, love of God and family and country. He's been a victim of the same corrupt system that I have been and my family has been. He is committed to providing economic opportunities, helping those suffering from addiction with long-term inpatient drug programs, rolling back deadly bail reform policies that are getting our children killed every single day, and supporting our police. We back the NYPD. We back the blue. Back the blue. NYPD, black the blue. Trump was right when he said, they're after us. He's just standing in the way. And guess what? He always will. That's why I'm standing with him today. Let's make America safe again. Donald J. Trump.